Hi y'all, I'm Miss Stacy. Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and I'm gonna make a quick pumpkin bread with the pumpkin that I just processed. So, what we're gonna need, according to this is my cookbook from my church. Years ago, you know, I used to sell cookbooks at church. I don't know if they still do, but yeah, this is from our church when I was a teenager. Still use it to this day. So we got 3.5 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 cups of water, 4 eggs, 1 cup of oil, 2 cups of pumpkin, and 1 cup of chopped nuts. But we're not going to do the nuts because some people don't like them, so we're going to omit that. So we're just gonna mix that all up now. And it's for three baking pans like this. So I have a bunch of these aluminum ones that my aunt gave me years ago. Yeah, so we're gonna use 3 of these. Alright guys, so we got our flour in here. Now I noticed that this particular pumpkin bread recipe does not have clove or ginger in it, so I'm just gonna add it. You know, basic pumpkin bread is just really simple. They're all the same. You know, you got your oil, your sugar, your eggs, and your flour, and your baking soda with a little bit of salt. So that's the gist of the base of it. But you can add whatever, you know, seasonings to enhance as you like. Okay, so we got 3.5 cups of flour, and now we're gonna do Alright, okay, so let's do the sugar first. We're going to do 3 cups of sugar, 2, 3 cups of sugar. Okay, got 3 cups of sugar. Darn it, I should have done 1 with brown sugar. Oh well, next time I'll put brown sugar in. Alright, and then we're going to get our baking soda in here, and 2 teaspoons. Or, you know, roughly 2 teaspoons. You don't have to be exact on that, but a little bit more won't hurt. So we got 1, 2 teaspoons, okay? 2 and a little bit more. I always put a little bit more of that in there. Alright, so, and then we're going to get our salt, and we're going to put 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So I usually measure. Here's the thing. I don't use measuring things. This, I guarantee, is 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Let's see. Let's see if my intuition is correct. So I got 1. Here's 1.5. I am spot on. Look at that. Look at that. See? That's how you do it. I knew that was 1.5. Okay. Then we get a cup of oil. I'm just gonna use coconut oil. Let me get that. I like to use coconut oil because it has a good flavor. So about a cup of coconut oil, and we're just gonna let's see, coconut oil is a little bit hard right now. Let me melt it a little bit in a bowl. Alright, melt it down just a bit. So, roughly 1.5 cups. I'm not going to be exact. I know how to eyeball. I've been cooking so long, I'm just so good at it. My intuition and eyeballing the ingredients of things. Alright, so I'm thinking this right here is about, how much oil did it say to do? A cup of oil. That's probably a little bit more than a cup. Let's see. Let's see. I'll melt it down. Alright, I got my coconut oil melted, but you know what? I almost forgot. I gotta finish adding the dry ingredients in here. Alright, so let's get our, I'm gonna put a little bit of clove in here. You're gonna add all the dry ingredients before you go on adding your wet ingredients, so it mixes really thoroughly, you know? So, I'm gonna start mixing it up a little bit here. Okay. Alright, now let's get our dry ingredients in. We got our clove. Clove is very strong, so let's see. Let's do about 1 teaspoon of clove. Okay, we're gonna do 1 teaspoon. Now, if you don't have all these individual ingredients, then go ahead and use pumpkin spice that's already made, you know, or apple spice. They basically are the same. All right, and so we got our clove in, and let's see. The nutmeg, we're gonna do, it says 1/2 teaspoon. I love the flavor of nutmeg though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do 1 teaspoon because I love that flavor. It's best to have ground nutmeg, fresh nutmeg that you grind yourself, but I don't have it, so I just have this nutmeg right here already ground up. Let's see, and then we want some ginger. I'm gonna put a little bit of ginger in. So let's see, how much ginger? About let's see. I put the same amount of ginger as I do cinnamon. So we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons. So 1.5. The same amount as I do cinnamon, because ginger is good stuff. It's really good for you. It gives a good flavor. I love the ginger. It's my home ground ginger. All right, and now we're gonna do cinnamon, and this is the good cinnamon. That's good for you. All right, so we're gonna do 1.5 of cinnamon. 1.5. About. Normally, I would just pour it in my hand and measure it that way. I think I'm gonna start doing that after a while because I never like to locate my measuring spoons. All right, so now let's mix up these dry ingredients. Now, after you add your wet ingredients in and you taste it and you think it needs more, go ahead and add more, you know? Add more, whatever you think it needs. You don't want to put too much in though, because you want to still taste that pumpkin. Okay. All right. Looks like that's good. And then now it's time for our, if you had your nuts, go ahead and get those added. I have nuts, you know, I might just do nuts in 1 loaf. So we're gonna do this and then I can add nuts for the last loaf. But I don't want to get them out of the freezer. Let's just not do it. We'll do it next time. Okay, so let's get our, okay, so I eyeballed this. Thing is I don't want to sit there and dirty up another measuring utensil. I'm pretty sure this is about 1 cup. I trust my instincts, so here's 1 cup of oil. Doesn't have to be right on the money. I know usually baking, but with breads, it's not cookies. You know what I mean? It's cakes and breads are a little bit more forgiving than other confections. Okay. Now we got our oil in. Now let's get our eggs in, and we're gonna do 4 eggs. These are fresh eggs, straight from the chicken. I'll feed the shells to the dogs here. I gotta get my duck eggs. There, you know, you have to go on an egg hunt for duck eggs. I do, because they're free range, and so I have to go hunt for them. They usually just drop them. Sometimes they don't even put them in a nest. They just drop. I have to go on the ground If I don't get them, the dogs will. All right. 3/4 cups of water. That's where I just spilled my water everywhere. I had gotten that. All right, so I'm gonna go get the water. All right, so here's the thing. I'm not gonna add the water in yet because I'm using fresh pumpkin. The fresh pumpkin has, you know, more moisture to it. So we're gonna do the pumpkin first and then add water as needed. So I do have 3/4 in this bowl. But we're going to do the pumpkin, add that in first. And then add water as needed, okay? So we'll do half of the 3/4 of water. I'm sure half will be fine. Okay, now it says 2 cups of pumpkin. I think I'm going to add 3. Because I want that pumpkin flavor. There, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna add the rest. I think I'll just add the rest in. It's not gonna hurt. It's only 1 cup left. I mean, I don't want to. I have other things to bake, and I have more pumpkin to process, so I have plenty of pumpkin. All right, let me take this whisk out of here. All right. I should put this in a mixing bowl. Let's put this in a mixing bowl. Trying to fit it all in my thing. Let me get a mixing bowl. All right, I don't know what in the world I was thinking. Here's my mixing bowl here. There we go. This is going to be a good breakfast. So we don't do quick breakfast around here unless it's baked goods. That's your quick breakfast. You know, I'm pretty sure a cookie for breakfast is way better than a bowl of cereal, health-wise. All right, let me go help Bit. Bit's calling me. See, where's my dough hook? I have a dough hook somewhere around here. Anyways, not that we have cookies for breakfast. I'm just saying cereal is so full of sugar. Like, that's more of a treat, in my opinion. So we treat it as a snack cereal. But so I like to do like a quick breakfast for me is this, like making a pumpkin bread or a banana bread, and then some eggs to go with it. You know, that's quick. So this is what we'll have probably for breakfast, here and there. You know, some eggs and bacon with a piece of bread, pumpkin bread or banana bread. All right, we're getting this all stirred up here. Sorry, got out of frame. All right, I got my dough hook here, and then I have more water if I need to add more water. But I think we're gonna be good since I have that extra pumpkin. So I probably added a 1/4 cup of water instead of 3/4. Okay, now I can take my whisk. Now I can take my whisk to it. I should have got a bigger mixing bowl again. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know, I have so many bigger bowls. They're deep in my cabinets, and this was just right here and handy. Alright, so we're going to mix this up real good. Let me taste it and see if it needs. What does it need? Probably a little bit more of everything. A little bit more of everything. So we're going to add a little bit more nutmeg. I like it a little bit stronger than this. Okay, guys? So, we're about a teaspoon of nutmeg. A little bit of clove. Just a tad of clove here. The ginger's fine, I think. A little bit more cinnamon. Okay. And then let's mix that in here. Just need a little bit more spice to it. Okay, well, we're gonna preheat our oven. The coconut hardened up in here. It's interesting, coconut oil hardened up in little spots, but it'll melt. All right, because I put in cold ingredients. All right, that's good. It tastes real good. That's how it's supposed to taste. Alright, let me get this stuff out of the way. Preheat your oven to 350. And then let's see what they say. Wax or grease. Grease your baking loaf pans and bake 350 for 1 hour until loaves test done. Until the loaves test done. Meaning you stick a knife in the middle. If it comes clean, it's good. Mix 3 loaves. Okay, so I'm going to grease my loaf pans here with a little bit of butter. I like to use butter. And then we'll load them up. Now, if you have, you know, the spray, olive oil spray, that would be nice. But I just don't see the justification in spending the money for it right now because it's not on sale. When I can just use the butter I have, you know? So, get all the nooks and crannies, especially the sides and the corners, because that's where it sticks. And just use your hands to rub it in real good. Yeah, it'll stick to the sides. Or you can put parchment paper in, you know, if I wanted to do that, but then I have to take the time to fold it, and I don't want to do that either. So we're just doing this. Okay, I'm gonna get all those in there, all those greased up. Let's just pour one in. Pour one in. There we go. You don't want to do it too full. We'll evenly distribute them into all your loaf pans. I'll just put a little bit in at a time in each one until they're evenly distributed. I don't know how else to say it. Alright guys, so we got them all. Alrighty, so we got them all evenly distributed. See, they're gonna rise to fill up the rest. So this is about half full on each. And then we're gonna just pop them in the oven here. Let's take them, let's pop them in the oven. Alright, so let's get these in here at 350 degrees for an hour. There we go. I'm gonna situate all 3 of them in here. There. Alright. We'll come back when that's done. Alright guys, I have 7 minutes left, but I smell it. I trust my nose, so I think it's done. It smells done, so let's check. I'm gonna check. I'll show you. We'll bring it in. We'll check it. Whoosh. Let's see. Yeah, it looks done. It's cracking on the top. Let's see. Let's test it with our knife. That one's done. This one's done. And let's see. What about this one? Maybe. Let's see. Came away with a little bit. It needs a little bit longer. Yeah, probably no, the 7 minutes. Let's switch it. Let's rearrange it a little bit. Kind of turn it around maybe. Get a little bit of different heating going. All right. So it's pretty much done. I think it does need the last 7 minutes. So, all right, guys, it's all done. Let's take it out. Smells so good. Smells like fall. I love the smell of fall. Yes. Yes, look at that. So beautiful. We're just set them right here. Ooh, of course, I almost burned myself. Right here to cool down. Perfect. Look at how perfect. Beautiful. You make cream cheese frosting to go on that. I think I'll do that tomorrow morning right before. I'll warm it up and serve it for breakfast with an egg on the side. Ooh, and you know you can turn this into French toast. That's good too. All right, guys, so that's how I make my quick pumpkin bread there. And using my jack-o'-lantern that we had for Halloween. We'll just talk to you later and subscribe. Bye-bye.